this is a special segment of the program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. A very, very special segment where our guest talked about, is expected to talk about a particular governorship candidate. And on this week edition, we're having St. Moses Eromosele, popularly known as SME. He is a prolific author. He is an analyst. He's a man of many parts. And he will be talking about the Edo State 2024 governorship candidate of the PDP, Asue Ighodalo. St. Moses, nice to have you on the program.
Nice to meet you. Good afternoon.
Okay. So my very first question is, why are you here? Why do you think the people should vote for Asue Ighodalo?
Yeah, thank you, Rosa.
Yes.
First, why am I here? I'm here to talk about Asue Ighodalo.
Okay.
And also to talk about why Edo people should vote for him.
Yes.
First, Asue Ighodalo, as of today, is not somebody you need to introduce again. It's like an Iroko. If you go to any part of Edo State, you ask who is Asue Ighodalo. In fact, that's probably the only name that we'll remember among the governorship candidates currently. Asue Ighodalo represents the very best of us. He's a man from Ewohimi, and he was born among us by one of us from Edo State. His mother is a princess from Ile-Ife. That means Asue Ighodalo understands royalty, respects royalty. And he went to school, he studied law. He was not satisfied, he studied economics. He went again to study management, and he has managed a number of important firms, including very many first-class companies in this country, Nigeria Breweries, Dangote Flour Mills, and others. So Asue Ighodalo represents the very finest among us, and is somebody I'm very proud that he's from Edo State. And so I'll be here to talk about him, and if you ask me questions directly, I will give direct answers, because he's a man of very, very many parts.
Yes.
But the common factor with Asue Ighodalo is a man of excellence.
Okay. When you say excellence, how do you mean?
Excellence in every way, the very word excellence, in the sense that he's a thoroughbred. He's a thoroughbred. He understands people. He's a top-class person who understands the low-class people. You can see a billionaire in a common restaurant in Benin eating with everybody. You can see a billionaire in a marketplace having a conversation with the people and connecting with the people. You can see a man who has studied in some of the best universities across the world relating with people in my village, of Ewo. And that's the kind of person we really would like to have as a governor. A man who understands today, a man who understands the future, and a man who can interconnect and can find a nexus between the two.
Yes, the man is already on our screen. And the question I'll ask you now, though you just highlighted part of it, the people believe that this man is a technocrat. And as a technocrat, how do you expect him to relate with the masses, with the grassroots? You want to expatiate on that?
That's a very good question. As a technocrat, Asue Ighodalo understands the rudiments of governance. He understands what it takes to lead a modern country. The mistake we often have in this part of the world is we assume that a technocrat is somebody who is highfalutin, far away from reality. That's not true. That may be some mistakes of the past. Asue Ighodalo has also studied some technocrats who are wonderful, who have worked with us before, and will correct some perception. As a technocrat, he knows how to relate with the ordinary people. You can remember what I said earlier today. I said he's up there, he knows how to relate with us. Asue Ighodalo speaks Pidgin very well. That's the common lingua in this country. The common language across the state, the only language that everybody in Edo State understands. And if you understand that language, then there's no need for any other language, for example. And so as a technocrat, he will be able to translate his ideas. He's a global mind with a local content. And that's the kind of technocrat we have. He's a brilliant technocrat, but he knows how to translate his vision to reality in the common place. I watched his video yesterday on the Environment Day. And what was he talking about? Talking about our trees, all these things, how he's going to plant 200,000 trees in his first 100 days in office. That tells you he's not just a high falutin person. He's a person who knows that we have trees here. He will convert these trees into factories. When he talked about having 200,000 trees, what he was actually telling you, he was going to bring you 200,000 factories. Because every tree, if it's well managed, becomes a factory. So as a technocrat, he will not be far from the people. He understands the people, he understands our needs, he will meet them.
Yeah, but there's this perception amongst the voters that in every election year, you see technocrats, as in the case of Asue Ighodalo, being able to identify with the locals, like you have just said, that you can see him eat with the commoners in the restaurant. You know, we've seen some who will buy even roasted corn from the roadside just to identify with the local residents. Some persons have the perception that they do this to deceive the people, to make the people feel that, oh, I may be up there, but I'm not really up there, I'm with you. And once they are voted into office, they throw away all those, those kind of behavior, and you now see the real color. So you want to convince the voter that Asue Ighodalo is not like these other persons who always try to identify with the poor masses or the grassroots. Later, once they are elected, they get the votes, they become a different human being.
The truth is that you and I know that when you see a fake, it's easy to identify. It's not real. You don't sync with it. For Asue Ighodalo, when you see him do this human content, this meeting with the ordinary people, look at the behavior. It's genuine. We know fake ones. We know those who used to roast corn and don't even know where corn farm is.
Yes.
He's doing all these things. But then, to now prove whether it's genuine, take note, every fake, there's a close one, there's genuine one close by. Definitely Asue Ighodalo is genuine. To prove that he's genuine, you look at his programs, his plans, his printed manifesto, which is coming out very soon, which I know some of it, the content. And you will now see that this is a man who is not fake. Everything is contained in his document. So, Asue Ighodalo, what he's doing today, if he doesn't mean it, he won't do it. And don't forget, that was how it was 20 years ago. That was how it was 30 years ago. Those who knew him, remember he used to come to club in Benin. Watch on one of the interviews. He would come to Benin to buy things. Those restaurant that he's going, he used to go there. So it's not something he just started to learn. If he didn't dare according to one man in Port Harcourt. So it is with him, and he will not change. That's important. The important thing is whether this man can do the job, whether this man can relate with our problems, whether this man can solve them, whether he can see beyond what we see, whether he can bring the help that we need to transform Edo State to a first-rate state in this country.
Okay. Now, the governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, has earned an enviable name as the wait and see governor. He was able to earn that name from the local people who discovered that this governor doesn't talk much. You wake up in the morning, you see a new project. You wake up in the following morning, you see another project. And they say, this is wait and see governor. How do you intend to convince the people, the voters, that Asue Ighodalo will continue or surpass what Mr. Godwin Obaseki has done and then earn the commendation of the residents?
Very good question. First of all, there's something I want to quickly say, maybe to introduce it to our lexicon.
Okay.
Asue, not be Obaseki.
Okay.
And that is used in a positive sense. Obaseki is a fantastic governor. He has done a lot to transform our infrastructure. He has done a lot. He's doing a lot. I've gone around the state. I've gone to every ward in the 102 wards in Edo State. I've set my feet upon them at least twice. And I've seen what this man has done. He's transforming Edo State. When he leaves, we'll be really, really celebrating. But that, having said that, Asue will be different in a very positive way. He's not going to be an Obaseki in the way he relates with the Edo State people, in the way he relates to the palace, in the way he relates to the public. He's going to be Asue Ighodalo. Let us brave to expect an Asue Ighodalo. Don't be expecting an Obaseki. Don't be expecting any other person. Be expecting an Asue Ighodalo. He will come with a lot of innovation. And one thing that is common between two of them, Obaseki performed, he will perform. And I want to believe he will perform more. Why? Because we always pray that our children, our successors do better than us. He will do better than Obaseki. But he will definitely perform because he is an original person. He's brilliant. He worked with Oshomole for 8 years. 8 years. If he was such a bad person, the Oshomole that we know would have been up and down castigating him. Till date, have you heard Oshomole criticize him once? He has never. He cannot. You know why? Because he knows that's the best person for the state. He has been with Obaseki another 8 years. And for 16 years, he has studied and mastered the art of governance. And he will never make the mistakes of either of them. He will build on their success story. He will, like he said, he's going to continue from where Obaseki stopped, which is a normal thing. Every success story will have to continue because every government must continue from the previous government. But he is going to exceed whatever they have done before and exceed our expectation. I have so much confidence in him because he has it. Yeah.
Well, while you were talking, you said that the official document is yet to be released in terms of its manifesto, but that you know some of them. Probably you want to give us an insight into the content, into what we should expect from Asue. Yes.
Number one, he looked at the environment. He said, we are going to plant 200,000 trees. He put a timeline. In the first 100 days. And for every year, he aimed over 1 million trees. Do you know what that means? I lived in Braunschweig, Germany, for 10 years. And a government came to that city because it wanted to build trees. Because it wanted to go green. When you plant tree, you get a factory. So having to have 1 million trees means that Okomu will wake up. Just imagine those trees are palm trees. Just imagine those trees are rubber trees. Just imagine those trees are cash crops. That's the first thing. That means he's going to revive agriculture and industry. In one word, he has spoken two things. Agriculture, industry, trade. Because from moving trees and factories between here and there, there's service. Service is contained. It's going to transform the state. You will not you will not be able to recognize those states in 5 years if he becomes our governor. That's on the one hand. In education, he's going to transform the way we learn. Obaseki has done a lot. This Edo best. He's going to take it a little bit further. On health, Obaseki has revived primary health centers that will now have doctors in small health centers. I'm aware of that. He's going to take it further. How? How? Because he's going to bring access. The next level is going to bring access. Right now, the problem is the access to this healthcare is a bit difficult, it's a bit expensive. He's going to solve that. That's governance, building upon the past. Not just coming and scratching or somebody that doesn't even understand, rudiments of government or of administrating a complex state like Edo State. You cannot experiment with Edo State. We need to put Edo State in the hand of people who have been there. All the other aspirants, all the other candidates, to be fair to them, they're beyond good people, but they've not really been tested anywhere in governance. The highest we know about the others, maybe he was president of one association, the other one was a PA to one person, and none of them have really handled real big corporations owned by others. You can own your own business, you can fail, you can succeed. Only business that shareholders put funds, like Nigerian breweries, Dangote flour mills, tells me that you can handle those states. When you are sick, and I'm your best friend, but I'm not a doctor, will you come to me? You go to a doctor. I'm your friend, but you won't come to me. You go to a doctor. So let us go beyond sentiment. I wouldn't even expect other candidates to just, no contest. Let's just let this guy go. We have the best among us. Sometimes I don't expect contest when there's no need for such. Asue is brilliant, he's educated, he's prepared, he has experience.
But we have other candidates who are also very brilliant candidates.
Like I said, they are all brilliant. For anybody to be a candidate of a party means you are brilliant. I don't deny that fact. But when you are comparing apple and pineapple, there's still a difference. They are fruits.
Yeah.
It depends on what you want. This guy is not just brilliant, he's exceptionally brilliant. He's having a contact, the right connections outside the state and within the state. What we need domestic direct investment, we need foreign direct investment. He's going to attract this. He has the capacity. He won't be learning on the job. We don't want to learn. We want to continue, because what the standard of Baseke have said is too high for a learner to come. We need somebody who is a master. That's why this election is very important. Every Edo person must take it very important, because we don't need to try with a learner. We'll make the mistake we made with a Buhari. If we go back and start with a learner, let us start with a master, somebody who has handled economy as big as Edo State economy. That's the kind of person we need.
Yeah. I'm happy you've been able to expose part of the content, what people should expect. Now, it's difficult to convince voters this time around. We have, for the first time, we're having an election where any political party can spring a surprise.
Absolutely.
Unlike previous elections, you just know it's a one-way thing, or it's just between two political parties. This time around, it's not just between two political parties. Because we've seen some other parties that are really, really working hard. I don't want to mention their names because this is your own special program. So you want to inform the voters. Yes, you've mentioned a lot about your principal, but you want to really convince the voters of some other aspects that should sway them to look the way of Asue.
First, thank you for that question. First, I want to tell our voters something. I want to ask a question. Are you happy with Nigeria today? If you can answer that question truthfully, you will get a clue into where to put your ballot on election day. Personally, I am not happy with Nigeria today. Yes, in the last election, I supported this government, the federal government, because I thought it was going to be a better Nigeria. But I forgot that it was a political party and a personality that I didn't know enough. We are here today. I don't want us to make the same mistake again. And that's why I'm coming around to say, no, let us vote for a party that has a track record, that has plan, and that has the right candidate. These three ingredients we join together to bring solution. Take note, if you want to judge the parties, the major parties, we have 3 or 4 or 5 major parties out of the 17 parties that are existing. Some are just there to be the numbers. Now, if you look at the major parties, major contenders, the 2 major contenders here are just the APC and the PDP, the Labour Party right side. Now, look at these parties. Which of them was able to take a decisive step in relation to their campaign list? We know of another party. Up to yesterday, they brought a campaign list since how long they were dragging just for a campaign committee they couldn't constitute. A party that could not take such a decisive step, don't trust them with your vote. They will dilly-dally for
You may not know their reasons. They may have their reasons.
Because they're not organized to get there. They don't even have a manifesto. As of today, we don't know where the manifesto is, or where it is, or what it is. Now, for Asue and the PDP, immediately they brought out a list. Shows decisive action, shows focus, shows commitment, shows somebody who has a direction that you should follow. Now, beyond all that, because we know that Nigeria today is not where we should be, Edo State is taking a lead in that direction. Nigeria is still going to strike to decide on minimum wage that such an abysmal amount of 60,000, you need a strike to decide that Edo State went ahead and announced 70,000. That tells you the future. Let us not deceive ourselves. Let us just go with the best option, which we have. In Edo State, there's already a track record, there's already a plan, there's already a trajectory. Let's follow it. Let's not try to make the mistake of voting for, my local government, my village, my tribe. Let's go beyond that. Luckily, the two major parties are presenting people from Edo Central, which I also support. There's also another reason to still put your vote for Asue, because even in Edo Central, they have been marginalized over a long time. His own people has been micro-marginalized more. The people of Agbazilo, they've not had the privilege of producing a governor, even though Edo Central has produced 2 governors before. It's also good if you're asking the Benin people, the Edo North people to give Esan a chance. We should also give within Esan, the other part of Esan, they haven't gotten this, a chance, and that is Agbazilo. That's where we come from. We must carry everybody along. And these things are important. Beyond all this, Asue has a vision to turn Edo State to a prosperous state. And for that reason, let us vote for him. And I want to promise that Edo State will be better for it.
Okay, that's the man they call XME, St. Moses Eromusele. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
You've been able to inform our voters a lot about this great man, the Edo State PDP governorship candidates, especially for this election in September. Like they say, I hope he has been able to convince you and not confuse you. When you see some of the billboards of Asue Ighodalo, I would just want you to leave by just commenting on that. And is within the local palace, Asue Ighodalo.
Yes, so
just a quick one on that. Why did you choose that?
Yes, we wanted to connect with the ordinary people.
Okay.
That tells you again, we are technocrats that connect with ordinary people. We want to connect with them in the language they understand. And in speaking that language, we also want to tell them something deep. Ighodalo. Do you know why we're saying that? Because the other people say that in only talk, they talk, you know, go do. We are trying to prove to them that if in only talk, it not go be the head of Nigerian breweries. Only talk cannot allow Dangote to make him head of Dangote flour mills. Only talk will not make him be chairman of Telebank. Only talk will not make him get to where he has gotten to. He could talk him, he could do him.
Thank you very much. So that's it. It's just told you that word in the local palace, Ighodalo, Asue Ighodalo. He has just explained that this is a man that will carry everybody along. That's what he has said. I am apolitical. So you can also take advantage of 60 Minutes Nigeria. The political parties can take advantage of 60 Minutes Nigeria to also talk about their candidates. The special segment of 60 Minutes Nigeria is open for you to take advantage, and you come here and also tell the voters what your principal can do. That's the program for this week. My name is Edo Sagmalao. I'm very convinced you enjoyed your 60 minutes with us. Keep a date. Next week, by the grace of God, we'll be looking at other national issues. Until then, have a wonderful weekend ahead. Bye-bye.